The Dorkening and all affiliated shows are not intended for anyone under the age of 18. The following may contain discussions or scenes that have adult situations, graphic violence, nudity, strong sexual content, and graphic language. This show is intended for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
Step it off, break it down and lose it. Come on, follow us to the new revolution. Come on, step it off, break it down and lose it. Come on, follow us to the new revolution. At this battle I am never losing. I'm choosing to ignore the cuts and bumps and bruises. I'm cruising through these haters, leave them looking stupid. They foolish if they think they'll ever hear my conclusion. I'm through with all these part-timers and their excuses. I'm bruising eagles left and right every time I do this. I'm shooting for the top, no I'll never settle where you did. The future's in my hands, my grip will never loosen. My crew is ready to obtain the absolution. Removing any doubt that we was ever fooling. So come on, step it off, break it down and lose it. Come on, follow us to the new revolution. Come on, step it off, break it down and lose it. Come on, follow us to the new revolution.
Rise and shine, my sinners. When Father Evil starts his day, he gets a little deadly. Deadly Grounds coffee has the richest, smoothest flavor you'll find anywhere. It's sinfully delicious. Once you go deadly, you never go back. Order yours at getdeadly.com. Coffee's so good, it's scary.
And here we are. We are now live on another episode of Still Toking with. And my name is Leo. I'm the geek behind the keyboard here. As always, Benjamin. How's it going, my friend?
It's going well for a change. You didn't expect that answer now, did you?
No. Kind of flip the coin there.
I just figured I'd screw with you a little bit.
Hey, Ben, your gray hair's starting to blend in with that purple background pretty good, though.
Hey, look who's talking over there.
Yeah, well,
I still got a little of the natural color in there somewhere.
Well, every time I look in the mirror, so do I. So,
smart ass.
I have to say, my wife convinced me to do the Just for Men for my beard.
Let me know how that works out when you take a shower and it's running down your neck.
So far, it's worked okay. So, Jeffrey, would you like to introduce our awesome guest?
I don't think he needs an introduction. Everybody should know who this guy is.
He knows who everybody else is.
He knows who everybody else is, right? His name is Artie Hoffman. How you doing, Artie?
Hey, I'm doing really good. Thank you so much for having me on the show.
Well, thanks for being here. I really look forward to all your inspiration. From what I understand, you're very inspirational. You're not just a psychic, I did a little research on you, although I might have been looking up the wrong guy because there's a lot of cool stuff here.
No, that's me.
That is you. Okay, see? I can't read my own writing, though. This really sucks.
Now you see why we had to put the disclaimer at the beginning of the show, Artie.
I noticed, It's all good. It's all good.
So welcome. We're glad you're here. And, I look forward to hearing about things that I know nothing about.
Which is just about everything.
Yeah, we don't have a show that long.
What about relationships, about life, about what? Spiritual world?
Well, there was one thing that intrigued me, and it was to let go of fear and trust your gut. Was a quote that I read about you.
Yeah, that's true. So many people, everyone has said, you know, I should have listened to my first gut instincts. You know,
Right.
so many people don't listen to their gut. And that's the difference between people like myself and, say, most people, you know, as far as being psychic or whatnot. A true blue psychic is somebody who just follows the first gut instinct. So I'll give you an example. Today I was doing a reading with some lady, and she kept saying to me, no, 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 on things that I was telling her. And I said to her, I said, I'm not looking for your approval. I'm telling you what I'm seeing and what I'm feeling. And she goes, well, it makes no sense what you're saying. I said, yeah, and then now, but later on it will make sense. But, you know, let me tell you something. I tell people to record your sessions when you're in a session with me, because I say so many things. There's no way you're going to remember everything that I have to tell you. And some of it's pretty whacked out stuff, you know, whether it be I don't see them in their relationship, or your kid's going to be interviewed on TV or on a radio station. And they go, no, what, my kid? Are you kidding me? You know, the list goes on and on. I told the lady one time, I was doing I'm doing what's known as Artie parties. So people hire me to go to their house, and I read for their friends and family. And this is a cool story you'll appreciate. So I'm sitting down on the couch, and the lady says to me, she goes, Art, before you start, because I just want to tell you, she goes, you read for me 2 years ago here at this house at a previous party. And she goes, and you told me that I either need to go to Atlantic City or I need to start playing the lottery because you saw me winning tens of thousands of dollars. And I told you I don't gamble. And I still don't gamble. She goes, well, 6 months after that reading was my birthday. And I had my kids come over to my house to help celebrate my birthday. So my youngest son gave me a birthday card, and he gave me those $2 scratch-off lottery tickets. He gave me 5 of them. She goes, and on my first scratch off, I won $50,000.
Wow.
See?
So
That's really cool.
The lady never gambled. She's not a gambler. I saw her winning money, and it still happened. There was another lady, another cool story where this lady emailed me a few days after, again, an Artie party. And she says, Art, she goes, I got to tell you what happened. She goes, I'm so, I forgot her name, Catherine, just say. She goes, my name's Catherine. And she goes, and I thought you were a nice guy. She goes, I didn't think that you were hitting me until a few days later. She goes, you told me that you saw me in the middle of the, on a boat in the middle of the blue waters off of the Keys of Florida. Now I'm thinking to myself, there's no way that this could happen because my husband and I live paycheck to paycheck. We can't afford to leave the county, let alone go to Florida. She goes, 2 days after that reading, my husband's best friend gave us a call, and he said, listen, I want to fly you and your wife. You know, he's talking to her husband. He says, I want to fly you and your wife out here to Key West on my dime. He says, don't worry about food. Don't worry about anything. He goes, I'm going to pay for everything. I just want you out here fishing with me. I want you to relax. She goes, Artie, by the end of that week, I was on that boat in the middle of the blue waters off the Keys of Florida. And she wrote, you rock, with exclamation points across the screen. And, you know,
That's
crazy.
awesome.
So I can't worry whether people think I'm crazy, whether they think I'm wrong or whatever. I've just learned that when I speak and I get images in my head, I just know that what I feel I'm saying is the truth. Now, does everything I say come true, that what I say? No, because there's never any psychic in the world is 100%. So I call it psychic probabilities. So what happens is that I'll, like, suppose somebody's having a hard time in a relationship. Yeah, there's a new theory, huh? A hard time in a relationship.
Yeah.
So I'll they say, Art, what do you see for me with my relationship? Other than it sucks. But I'll say, well, if you stay with the bum, this is what's going to happen. If you go for therapy, this is what's going to happen. If you go with the other guy, this is what's going to happen. And if you move on by yourself, this is what's going to happen. And they say, well, what do you see me doing? I said, I can only tell you what to expect based on your choices. I could tell you logically what the best move is. But when you're emotionally invested, even though I'm giving you all the right answers, when you're emotionally invested, you want what you want. And you might not listen to like really good, solid advice. So,
Right.
but I will tell you what the probabilities are. There are certain things come hell to high water. I see things written, it's like written in stone. It's going to happen no matter what, you know? So, you know, it's interesting because there are people who say to me, "Hey, Art, do you see this relationship working out?" Suppose they want it to work out really, really bad, you know? And so I'll tell them, I go, "Well, this is, to tell you the truth, this is what I see with the relationship and blah, 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 blah." And it might not be the greatest news that they want to hear. And so, of course, you know, people will get upset. If they're asking me a question about anything.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. We just lost you.
We did.
He'll be back.
He will. Yes, I have a feeling he will be back.
I see it in the future.
Yeah. And Clayton says, go to New Hampshire, look for moss.
Supposed to say moose.
Oh, we
Look
lost.
for Moose. There he is. He's back.
Hey, I didn't think my story was that bad.
Well, I was like, he just disappeared. And Jeff was like, yeah, it's that stupid thing behind you. You sucked him into a vortex. I'm like, I didn't do anything.
Somebody
Wow.
didn't like what I said.
So, you know, you say follow your gut.
Anyway,
I have a question for you.
So, wait. Let me finish the story. So I tell people, when I tell them bad news or when I tell them hard news, they say to me, you know, I say to them, well, you know, and I can see that they're upset. I say, well, I got good news and I got bad news. I said, the good news is I'm not God and I'm not right all the time. I said, the bad news is I'm right most of the time.
True that. I can see that.
Oh, you are a psychic.
You know, I can see that. I do have a question for you, and I've asked myself this many a times. What is the difference between following your gut and following your heart?
Following your gut is when you know something is right in your soul. You know what the right move is. You know what the right answer is. Following your gut. Following your heart is, I want what I want. You know, I have a passion for what it is I want. I'm following my heart. Should I follow my gut or should I follow my heart? That's actually a great question. No one's ever asked me that. So kudos to you. So, and I've read for over 32,
you get a gold star.
32,000 people in my life.
Wow.
You know, so no, but when you follow your heart, sometimes people say, you know what? I just want to follow my heart. I want to go with what feels right. I want to go what my heart feels, you know. So there are times where you'll fall in love with somebody and you know that they might not be the right choice, but yet I desire this person so much. I want to follow my heart. I got to play this out. I want to see where it goes. Following my gut says, you know what? I know this is not going to work out, and I know I'm be looking for disaster. So you know what? Screw it. I'm not going in that direction. You know, you're following your gut. You're following logic, or you're following what feels right. But when you follow your heart, you know, it's like, I want what I want. Or it's like you want to go to Vegas. My gut is saying, I feel like I'm going to have a bad day. Your heart's saying, I'm going to rock it. I'm going to kill it. I'm following my heart. I want to have a good time. I want to have a great time. So you have a battle with the ego and the soul. And, you know, usually
Great answer.
your ego,
Yeah.
for most people, the ego wins. The ego is stronger than the soul. I'm gonna share with you something really interesting that I think you're gonna appreciate. So one of my friends is a teacher of spirituality as well, and he said to me he didn't know how to answer this question, and so one of his students asked him, "Is the mind, body, and spirit, are they all one, or do they act differently, or are they separate?" And he goes, "Art, what do you get from that?" And I really didn't know how to answer him in the moment. And I sat down. I sat there for about 30 seconds, and I asked the spiritual world, what is the answer to this? And this was the answer that I got. Your mind creates, your body reacts, and your soul will observe. And that's the way it goes. Your soul is just an observer of your feelings of what is. So again, your mind creates, your body responds, and your soul observes. And so it's like a car. Is the engine and the transmission and the wheels and the trunk, are they all one or are they separate? They're all separate, but they act as a team. They act as one.
Now,
We're all like speechless.
okay, no. I want to
Makes
say
sense.
something here. I want to
Yeah.
say something here
It's deep,
because
man.
I-
It's deep.
well, you say the soul observes, where I tend to think that the soul absorbs. I think it takes in
It
all that
absor-
stuff.
it-
It absorbs
It
more
takes
so
in.
than observes. Not to correct you. I mean, who am I?
Nobody. He just took away your gold star. Your gold star is gone.
See?
Didn't
You're
take
going
long.
straight to hell yet, man. I am Oz. How dare you challenge me? I am Oz.
Well, don't call
but
me
your-
Dorothy.
But your soul does. Yeah, but your soul does. No, it does. It absorbs and it also acknowledges.
Mhm.
You know, and it's that's all a part of our lesson in life. You know, whether you have an experience, you know, when you have an experience, it's only bad or good. The experience is only bad or good according to the perception of what you give anybody or anything. All of life, that's the secret to life. All of life is nothing more than a perception. Everything could be great in life, and you're right if that's your perception, and everything could suck in life, and again, you're right, according to your perception. So if somebody is watching the Boston Met game, the Boston and the Mets play, and the Boston wins in Massachusetts, that was the greatest game that ever happened. In New York, that game sucked. It was still the same game. It's just your perception of what you want.
Right.
Now, personally, I'm a Boston fan. It just so happens my mother's side of the family's from Massachusetts, so I do side with them. So, but in any case,
I knew I liked you for a reason.
But I'm going to give you an example again. What I mean by perception. This is really going to hit home. So right now, when you look above your head, that's the ceiling. All right. In reality, it's a piece of wood, but it's the ceiling. So if you were to walk upstairs, right where that piece of wood is above your head, from upstairs, that same piece of wood is now the floor. The piece of wood never changed. Only your perception has changed. From downstairs, that piece of wood's the ceiling, and from upstairs, that same piece of wood is the floor. And it's 15 minutes a long time. It all depends what side of the bathroom door you're on.
So what's more important, what I think or what I feel?
Both. They're both. They both. You know, when you feel something, again, that's your gut. It's your gut. It's what I feel. When you think, that's your logic. You know, and you need to have ego. Ego needs to exist. It's just a part of life. It's a part of nature. You know,
It's a driving force.
My father always used to say to me, growing up, "Why don't you think before you do?" And if I told you once, I told you 1,000 times. And I said, "Well, you should have stopped after the first time then."
Because you're wasting everything else. Yep.
Yeah. He says, "You know, why don't you think before you do?" I said, "To tell you the truth, I never thought about it."
So,
you know, but seriously, I you know, when I do my psychic work, when I do my readings or whatever, there's no thinking involved whatsoever, because I hear voices in my head, you know, the spiritual world, the angels, your loved ones who passed away. They'll communicate to me in my heart and soul, into my thoughts, into my feelings, and I'm expressing what is the truth, you know, whether you like it or not. You know, I'll express my truth. You know, when somebody asks me a question and I say, you know, this is what I think, and I have to sometimes stop myself because they don't want what I think, what Artie thinks. I want to know what is real. I want to know. So a lot of times I'll say, well, I feel this, or this is what I'm getting. rather than saying, well, this is what I think. If I say to you, well, I think that, I'm giving you my personal opinion, what I like or don't like. But people, when they're in session with me, when they're paying for me, they're not paying for me to say what Artie thinks. They want to know what I'm getting from the spiritual world, what I'm feeling. And then I share it with them. Because when it comes to sport picks, and I think I suck.
So, the voices in my head aren't necessarily a bad thing?
Well, no, that means you're schizophrenia. No, they say if you talk to God, they call it prayer. If God talks to you, they call it schizophrenia.
Right. They have these special jackets they give you for that.
Exactly. Take 2 aspirins and call me in the morning.
I just want to break in here for a second. So if you want to learn more about Artie, check the show notes down below or up above, depending on where you're watching or listening to us. And are you doing Artie parties now, or are you scheduling them out?
Yeah, no. I'm. As a matter of fact, there's a TV producer who's in the process of doing a TV reality show with me, and
Nice.
So I've been doing live performances at all different venues. I have my Facebook Live show that I do every Sunday night, 8 p.m. Eastern time. It's called Artie Hoffman's Angels and Answers. So I read people for free over the air. And when they go to my Facebook Live, Angels and Answers, I connect to their loved ones. I talk about their love life or whatever they want to talk about. They just ask me questions. And I have an assistant behind the scenes. She reads the questions randomly because I get hundreds and hundreds of questions during a show. Right. So my assistant will just read the question, and I'm just like answering it like boom, 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 boom. And I.
Did you hear that, Lady J?
Well, actually, Lady J, she's asking, is anybody coming through right now? And just to give you a heads up, what we might do, depending on time, we may bring in 1 or 2 viewers on the live show tonight. So message me, find me on Facebook, message me if you're interested, and I'll randomly pick 1 or 2 people, all depending on time. And it's for
I think we'll get into that after commercial break, because I'm really intrigued by everything Artie's saying right now. It's not too often we get a guest on here that actually can keep the momentum. Yeah. That's schizophrenic like the rest of us. But no,
and I also wrote 2 books. One is called Angels and Answers. Another one is called Have Your Angels Call My Angels. And you could get that on Amazon, or you could get that on artiehoffman.com. But those 2 books, I promise you, you're going to think that I wrote that book just for you. You're going to have so many aha moments. I talk about deep subjects about life, about spirituality, about relationships, but yet I write it in a way that it's very, very simplistic for everyone to understand. Because I sucked at school, I wasn't really good at school, but I could express myself very well. But when it comes to learning, things have to be really broken down for me to get it. So I write the way I talk. And I explain myself because I want everyone to understand. And I don't talk so deep where it's like you have to be another spiritualist to understand what I'm saying. I break it down so everyone can understand. And I promise you that book, both those books are going to open up your eyes like, oh my God, I can't believe how I've been living or how I've been thinking. And this is how it really is. And I'm not political. And it's not a religious book. It's a spiritual book. It's about love. It's about reality. I'm a black and white person, even though I'm very spiritual, but I'm also down to earth. And and I give people back their power. Besides, when you have a really good, healthy perception of your life and life itself, it literally gives you power. So I'll give you an example. When you're in an argument with someone, your best move is to keep quiet. Is not to say a word. Let the other person keep on talking and talking and talking, because when you're quiet, you hold more power because you're listening to what they say, whether you agree with them or not. You're paying attention to the direction of whatever it is they're talking about. And behind the scenes in your thoughts, you could anticipate how to speak with the person or what moves you need to make that's going to benefit you or the overall situation. But when you're yelling along with them, you have no power, you have no control. That's strictly your ego talking out of arrogance or talking out of frustration. And usually when two people are arguing, you're only talking about your side, not listening to the other person, and the other person isn't really listening to you because they're only talking from their perspective. And it's like, so usually a whole lot doesn't get out other than the fact that you just blew off a lot of steam just to make yourself feel good. But you're not winning the other person over. But the healthiest thing to do.
And that's absolutely true.
Yeah.
That's absolutely true. Because I'll go on a rant and my wife will just sit there. She doesn't respond. She doesn't react. She doesn't say anything. And then when I quiet down, she'll look at me and go, do you feel better? Because I got everything off my chest, but she didn't ensue or get involved in an argument. She just let it happen.
She would be in a lose-lose situation because you only want to hear your perspective, or you want her to agree with you, or just to understand you and stuff. So, I'm sure I talk like that. Well, she paid me $1,000 to tell you this, so I just want you to know. So you think I'm really that good, but I'm really just.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, hey Leo, you got a commercial to run?
We do. So as always, we love supporting indie businesses, indie artists, and a sponsor of the network is Deadly Grounds Coffee. And if you head on over to getdeadly.com, they make the best coffee. They have, actually, I'll tell you about some flavors once we get back. But here's a zombie talking about coffee. If I can find the right button. Here we go.
Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. There's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
So they have a new s'mores flavor now, and also just for Easter, they have the chocolate scream egg, which tastes like a Cadbury bunny. Yeah,
that actually sounds gross.
Yeah,
I have to get off and restart.
Okay. Yeah,
that's all right. Leo, run the trailer.
Sounds good. Would you like to introduce it, Ben?
No.
Why not?
Because I don't.
This is the official trailer for Toking with the Dead series. We have no idea what we're doing, but we're having a lot of fun doing it. Enjoy.
Thank you, Jeff.
Hey.
If your world was turned upside down, what would you do?
What the fuck are we gonna do now? Get high.
We are the watching. We are the waiting. We are the remnant, host of vengeful souls forsaken. We'll show no mercy. We'll show no kindness. We'll strip your flesh and leave forgotten bones behind us. We are the uninvited. From mountains if you dare, we would be so delighted. We are the uninvited. From focus if you dare, we would be so delighted for the chance to find you in despair. We are the uninvited. From focus if you dare, we would be so delighted for the chance to find you in despair. Despair, you're often in despair.
It was more fun that way.
And where can people find that, Ben?
What? The trailer?
Well, the trailer. Any info
on the website?
Okay.
Isn't it in the show notes up above, down below, over there?
It is. I was just
somewhere.
I mean, tomorrow's April 1st. I didn't know if you wanted to.
What?
Never mind.
Tell people that we'll have it soon.
Yes.
It's not. Well, you got to understand, it's not April yet.
It's April tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
So everything
within the next week.
Yeah, everything I say tomorrow about where you can find to watch that is not going to be true because it's April Fool's.
Okay.
Patience, grasshopper. Patience.
Hey, I know Leo's like jumping out of his seat. He's like chomping at the bit.
Oh yeah, you guys have been working really hard on it. I can't wait to see
So
it.
we got to jack the price up on that just for Leo.
Sounds good.
Now Leo gets a free preview.
Oh, we're doing that? Free previews?
Really?
Oh, okay.
For Leo.
Aw.
Oh well, yeah, Leo, yeah, because Leo, yeah, he'll get the film festival link.
Yes.
So, welcome back, Artie.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you. It's good to be back.
So Lady J, she said she doesn't need to be on, but she actually sent me a question when we're ready for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Then it's all on the man of the hour.
What's the question?
Okay, so she says, the love of my life died 3 years ago, and he's been constantly telling me in tarot readings and with pendulums that he wants to talk to me. So my question is, what does he want to tell me?
He wants you to move on with your life. He said he's okay with you when you're ready. He doesn't want you to hold yourself back from sharing yourself with someone else, as hard as it is. He said he's okay with you being with someone else at this point of your life and not to feel guilty about being with other people. And yeah, he doesn't want you to feel guilty. He'd rather you be happy. And he said, but don't allow yourself to run amok with different guys. You know, and he said, just try to follow he says, follow your heart in the sense of being with the right person. It's okay to hang time with a lot of different people, but don't lose yourself in depression by not acting as you normally would. He doesn't want you to like run amok and just go off the course of who you really are by nature. He said, but he said he does want you to be in a solid relationship that will make you happy, and he will support you. He says, I'll send you a really nice fella. He says, but not anyone nearly as close as cool as I am, is what he just said.
Wow.
But like I said, he doesn't want you to, he said he'd rather you be happy with someone than to be miserable and alone. He says, but don't lose the sense of who you are. He says you're a great person, and don't allow depression to get the best of you. He says, go out there and knock them dead, but just keep a good sense of who you are. And that's what he's saying. He says, I love you, babe. He goes, I really love you. And he said, don't worry about me. He goes, I'm okay.
I just got chills. I literally just got chills up the back of my neck.
So anyway, that's the message to her from him.
Wow.
Lady J, take that to heart because you know you have a good one.
Mm-hmm. And there's
Right.
something significant about, I think Cinco de Mayo, right around May 5th, is a very significant time with her. I'm not sure if this is when they met or that was a big day for them, May 5th. So there's something significant with around May 5th that's connected with her, whether it be a birth date or an anniversary of, because I just heard Cinco de Mayo in my head.
Wow.
Maybe you just want a party.
There you go. Maybe he was a big time partier.
See?
She says, "Thank you. I'm bawling my eyes out right now."
Good thing I bought
Cool.
extra stock in tissues.
Clayton Bartlett says, "What is it with Moose tonight?" I found
He's up in Pittsburgh, New Hampshire.
Yeah, there's a lot of
There's
moose up
somebody
there.
here right now. There's somebody here right now. They have a strong connection with their loved one that's connected with Betty Boop. Somebody's connected with Betty Boop and or Mae West, and they had a very strong sexual side to them. But there's something with Betty Boop, like figurines, or they always wore the shirt of Betty Boop. They have little figurines of Betty Boop. But there's something, and I'm hearing, come up and see me sometime, like the Mae West type personality. But
All right, so whoever it is that's out there that's got a Betty Boop thing going on, make a comment so we know who you are.
Yeah, because it's so strong in my head. I know I'm not wrong. And
I know it's not me.
This person was very good looking too. I'm getting that this person was pretty good looking. Because I'm seeing something like I'm seeing Cheryl Teagues. I'm seeing the poster of Cheryl Teagues, Farrah Fawcett. It's like this person was very good looking, or they're expressing to the person who is now listening, like they have those kind of looks, those kind of good looks. And there's a connection with Betty Boop and Mae West.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that puts visions of sugar plums.
There you go.
Yeah. So if that sounds like you, put a message in the comments, and I'll try to get you. And
there was a question
from Tanya.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Tanya Williams says, "I have a question, Artie. Will I ever find someone?"
Will she ever find someone, Tanya? Yeah, as a matter of fact, she's going to find someone. Believe it or not, it's by the water. I'm seeing it's going to happen this summertime, and it's going to be a restaurant. It's a restaurant, and it's like a bar restaurant, and it's open space along the water. Like you go to the restaurant, and they have outdoor seating too, and it's right on the water. It's a restaurant bar, and there's a lot of people there around the bar scene, and people are chilling out, standing, drinking, and stuff like that. But it's like that type of an atmosphere is where I see her meeting someone. I don't know if it's going to be the love of her life, but I do feel like she is going to find a companion in that kind of atmosphere. It will happen between late May. It will happen in the time of late May, mid-June, whether it be this year or the following year. I feel like she's going to meet somebody at that time in that atmosphere. Now, I just go into La La Land. I'm just telling you, it's like a fantasy that I go into. I just go into La La Land like a 6-year-old boy. Honestly, this is what's going to happen. This is what I saw. and this shit comes true. It's like, it's pretty wild.
I'd like to know if that does come through, Tanya.
Yeah.
Right. We'll still be here in a year somewhere.
Yeah.
Better be. Is that your question for him, Ben? Will we be?
Oh,
here?
no. That's not my question. I said we will still be here in a year.
Okay.
It might just be a picture,
right.
but I'll still be here.
All right, so
I want to share with you something very interesting that was brought to me just last week, and it's a strong epiphany. I wish I wrote this in my book, but it came to me after I wrote the book. And I don't like the word hope. Hope and faith are two totally different, because when you say, I hope you get the job, or I hope will work out, hope leaves that feeling of failure, a possibility of failure. I hope everything turns out okay. Faith is, it is going to work out. I am going to get the job. I am going to succeed.
That's having faith. I believe, I have faith in you. You don't look at somebody and say, I have hope in you. You say, I have faith in you. Faith is more of confidence it's going to happen. Hope leads chance of failure. So I don't like the word hope. The only time hope works, or I believe in hope, is when there's a situation out of my control. Like, oh, wow, I hope I hope they do work out, or I hope everything does turn out okay. You're wishing hope on behalf of someone else because it's out of your control. You're wishing well on behalf of someone. When it comes to yourself, I never hope for anything. I have faith that things are going to work out. And you visualize and you focus on what it is you want the outcome to be. And so therefore it will be, because your will is that strong. You're working your will with faith, with hope. I hope it works out. I hope no, screw hope. I don't like the word hope for myself.
I agree.
Right. No, I agree with that. It's similar to, I don't know if I can do this. I'm gonna do this.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You got to have faith in yourself.
Don't hope. Right. Don't hope to do anything. Just do it. Like I tell people, when they're in front of me, when I want to get a point across, I say, pick up that pen. I say, try to pick up that pen. And they picked it up. And I said, why did you pick that up? Because you told me to. I didn't tell you to pick up the pen. I said, try to pick up the pen. There's a difference between picking up the pen and trying to pick up the pen. Don't try to, just do it.
Right.
And never be afraid of failure. You can never be afraid to fail.
It's all a part of it.
Right.
It's all a part of it. To be a good winner, you have to learn to be a good loser.
Yep.
When you go into a boxing ring, you don't hope to win. It's like, if you're hoping to win, then your chances are you're not going to win. You're going in there because you have to go in with the eye of the tiger, as one famous guy once said. You have to go with the eye of the tiger. You have to go in there. I am going to beat the opponent.
Right.
You don't hope to win. I'm there to win. I'm there to kick ass. I'm not there to, I hope. Then, if your passion needs to be greater than your fears.
Well said. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I've just been intrigued. Usually I'm running my mouth, but I've been quiet, just watching and listening.
It's very odd. I'm a little off put, Ben, because
well, that's because Ben has a lot to learn when it comes to this kind of stuff.
Oh.
I have a saying right outside my door. It's a Chinese proverb, and it says, if you get up one more time than your failures, then you'll succeed.
Right. It's true. So I know we got a bunch of people watching out there.
Said,
go ahead.
So I give people what I would say that the biggest thing that I do for people is I give people back their power, because I give them knowledge. And when you have knowledge, you have confidence. When you have confidence, you have power. And then I also help heal people's hearts, because when they know that their loved ones in heaven or on the other side are doing well, you have to understand, we are not of our body. You are the people who I'm looking at right now, you guys. What your soul is who you are, and your soul is expressing itself using this body. So when somebody dies, it's not that you die, your body dies, and then your soul lifts up out of your body and says, I'm out of here. The moment the soul lifts up out of the body, all physical pains go away instantly. Emotional pains go away instantly, because you are no longer, your soul is no longer connected to your body. Nobody could ever kill anybody, because your body is not who you are. Your soul is who you are. So you might kill the body, but then your soul says, you know what, I'm out of here. And then you go into a different dimension. But there is life after death, 100%, because that's who I communicate to. I communicate to the souls of the other people.
Right.
So it's really interesting. Both my parents passed away. And at times I like to bring my mother's picture into my readings. So if I'm in one of those moods where if I'm tired, I don't know, sometimes I just like to bring my mom into the reading, and I'll ask my mom. I'll say, Mom, what's going on with this person? So in my thoughts, my mother's communicating into my thoughts and telling me all about this person. And the person would say, well, I never met your mom. It doesn't make no difference, because when you're in the spiritual world, everybody knows everyone's business. There is no ego on the other side. Ego doesn't exist in heaven or in the other side, you know? So my mother, you're able to see everything about everybody. So my mom will just tell me the details of what's going on with the person. And the person says, yeah, your mom's right. Your mom's right about this. Your mom's right about that, you know? And I bring her in with me every once in a while. So, and it's pretty cool. So people laugh. He says, Artie, why is it that you make a living talking to dead people? I said, because they pay more.
Yeah. And they listen.
And they listen.
I got an odd
There's no
question for you.
argument.
I got an odd question for you, Artie. In today's world, this it's a little difficult. Everybody's emotional, and you hurt my feelings, and that offends me, and all this kind of stuff. But there was a quote that I came across that somebody said in describing you. And the quote was, "You are a Jew with a clue." How do you feel about that? How do you feel about that?
I love it. Well,
Excellent.
I'm the one
Thank
who
you.
brought that. I don't know if you ever heard of Goomba Johnny. He was one of the top DJs of New York City back in the 80s and 90s. And so I was having lunch with him. In New York City. And so while, he's also a comedian, he's also a professional comedian. That's what he does right now. And after a while we were talking, he looked at me and he says, look at you, psychic medium, Artie Hoffman, Jew with a clue. I couldn't stop laughing. I thought that was a great catch. I said, I'm going to use that as my catch line. He goes, go ahead. He goes, Art, you also have a radio station? He goes, you have a radio show? I go, yeah. He goes, oh, what is it called? WWWJEW all the time? And I thought that was hysterical.
That's comical. That's comical.
Now, see, thank you for that. Because that people out there, you need to lighten the fuck up. And thank you for that.
50 minutes in, we got the F-bomb.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for that. In today's world, people would be offended by that, and I think it's great.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Rio, you look like you're brewing up a question over there.
Am I?
It looks that way.
What's the question?
No, I thought he had to poop.
Oh, maybe.
No, go ahead.
I know this is an open question, but do you see anything for me? Anybody coming through?
No, you're on your own.
Is it like a father figure? Father, grandfather, I'm getting.
Okay.
Hold on a second. Who was one of them into boxing? Did one of them like who is the boxer? Somebody with like or was one of them super high strung?
High strung, yeah.
Okay. The reason why I say that because I heard Joltin' Joe. So for me, when I think of Joltin' Joe, I can look at it two ways. It's Joltin' Joe Frazier, a boxer, or Joltin' Joe. They're hyped up. They're hyped up personalities. What was on their mind was on their lips.
Yeah.
Always told it like it is. Very opinionated.
Yeah.
I'm also getting that this person was also like very good at fixing things.
Yeah. Wow.
That's what I'm getting. They were very good at fixing things. Always trying to teach you something as well. Always had something to say, always teaching you, and very generous. It was how much you need, or let me give you this, let me give you that. And always trying to inspire you. This person was a very strong figure, wanting to inspire you all the time. And they're saying how much they love you and how proud they are of you. They said that you've come a long way. You've had to overcome a lot of obstacles to get where you are right now. And you had a lot of your own self-doubts, and you pushed the envelope. You pushed the envelope a lot. And there were times when you were by yourself and you were giving up on yourself and you were getting emotional on yourself. But then after a little while, you would just get a hold of yourself again and then continue on saying, I could do this. But at times and moments, you beat yourself up. And I'm getting like they are like right with you, right behind you, and say, come on, you could do this, you could do this, you could do this. And I see them like pushing you, and you're wondering, like, where did I get the strength, or where, I don't know where it came from, but it's like all of a sudden it's like you amazed yourself sometimes of when you wanted to throw it all in, and yet you managed just after a couple of days, 2-3 days, rejuvenating yourself, and you get right back on and act as if nothing happened and then try again.
Wow.
Does that make any sense?
It does. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
all right, Artie, can I test you?
I didn't study, but go ahead.
All right. Tell me about the love of my life.
She's stronger than what you give her credit for. And because of her past, she's very enthusiastic. She does support you. And she's learned a lot of patience being around you. She's also learned to let go of things that she used to be very angry about because she knows it doesn't serve a higher purpose. And she does believe in you, but she just thinks you talk incredibly stupid. And she says some Confucius things out of left field that will blow you out of the water. And she'll just walk away from you after she says it, like she's humble in many ways. And you don't always give her enough credit. Again, she paid me $1,000 to say that.
Wow.
She knows when you hurt, and she feels bad for you, but she just doesn't like your style. She believes in what you do. She just doesn't always believe in your style and all.
Okay.
And she's okay. She's good. You could always trust her. You could always trust her. You have a hard time with trust, but you could always trust her.
Wow.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
And then also I also get that she's a pretty good cook or a pretty good baker.
Oh, she can't bake fucking for shit, but she's a good cook.
She's a good cook. Okay. I knew she was pretty decent at one of them. And what keeps you and her together is that she has a really good sense of humor also, because she'll come right back at you. And she comes at you with, like, she's very subtle in what she says, but what she says could be really strong and clever.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Yes, it does. And I will tell you that. Go ahead.
She's also going to be getting a big raise soon.
Oh no, she just had a valuation. No raise there.
No, but she is going to get a rate. I didn't say it was going to happen right away. Next year, she's going to gain her income next year in the year 22 is going to go up by like between 50 to 100%.
Really?
50% to 100%.
You going to adopt me now, Jeff?
Yeah.
50 to 100%. Okay.
There's something structure. What does she do? I don't see what she does.
She is a registered nurse who now works in the IT department doing programming for the hospital.
Okay. Well, there's going to be a different structure within the system. It's funny because I did see her in the medical field, but I wasn't sure what part. Yeah. She might even become a supervisor or a, she's not going to stay where she's at. She's going to end up working on a much larger scale than what she's at right now. And a lot of it has to do with the upper and ups. The people who are above her are going to change. The people that are above her right now are kind of control freaks. And, there's personality issues there with the people right above her. And so that's why she's kind of stagnated. But the personalities, the faces are going to change above her.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, I will tell you this.
But go ahead.
I will tell you this. A lot of what you said was spot on. I married my high school sweetheart. We have been together for over 40 years.
Wow.
Okay, so a lot
That's
of what
awesome.
you said, a lot of what you said was spot on. Interesting. 50 to 100%. Yeah, go for it.
And you know what? It could also be that she starts her own business of some sort. But there's going to be an extension more than what she's doing now that she's going to grow and expand next year.
Okay.
And
that could be with us.
Presented to her
That could be with what we're doing. Her getting more involved. Who knows? But that's interesting.
Yeah, but there's going to be a big jump. There was I'm not going to say who he is, but there was a big time DJ at a radio station that had me on a major radio station. And he says, what do you see for me in my future? And I said to him on the air, I said, come July, I said, you are going to more than double your salary. And I see a bunch of other little incomes coming off of that, of what you're doing now. But there's going to be other residual income coming into you from all different areas. I said, but it's going to happen by July. Well, July came and he calls me up and I happen to be in my car. I said, hey, Artie, this is so-and-so. He goes, you want to come on the air with me? And then we were in July, toward the end of July. I go, yeah. So anyway, and this was around Christmas time when I made that prediction. He goes, do you remember during Christmas time you made this prediction, yada, 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 yada? And I said, I don't remember in detail, but if you say I did, then yeah, I back it up. He goes, well, it's July and I haven't made a penny yet, you bum. He goes, he said, it's over the air. He goes, I didn't earn an extra penny. He goes, what the hell's with that? And so he was busting my chops over the air, and then he retracted. He says, I already made a lot of accurate predictions with me, yada, 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 yada. Well, the next month, everything I said in August, everything I said came true. And he got hired by a different station, and he tripled his salary, and he started making other residual companies with other liquor companies because he was in the radio industry and stuff. So for the industry, for the direction he was going in. So, so my timing usually is pretty on point, but
you were
off
a month.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah. But the bottom line is I saw what I saw and it came true, I mean, is it guaranteed? Now, if I see somebody saying, hey, listen, I see you becoming a millionaire, now if you just because I said that, if you start sitting on your ass and not doing anything, well, guess what? You're not going to become a millionaire because you stop doing everything that you normally would do.
Right.
I just saw the probability of what it is you're doing that you're going to be successful. You're going to become a millionaire, and this is what's going to happen. So, you still need to do the work. There are some times where things will just fall in your lap, like that lady I said to you before. She didn't even have to gamble, and she ended up winning $50,000.
Right.
Yeah, wow. The bitch didn't share with me one penny.
There's no tip for you,
but
no tip for me. But no, I just, I listen. I get paid for my readings and stuff, and that's it. And it's my gift to give. If somebody asks me for the lottery, I can't give it. But like when a number just naturally comes to me, I will share it with the person. If it comes to me, I've given out pick threes and pick fours in gambling situations or investment situations. It just comes to me and I just share it. And I've hit well over 100 times for people, well over 100. Wow. So it's pretty cool when it happens. And the only reason why I know is because people will email me or text me, "Hey, Art, you're not going to believe it, but and it's your loved one that's giving me the numbers or your spirits, whatever." But I mean, I have yet to give away a pick 5 or a pick 6. It's like, that's life altering, but I don't know. But if it's given to me, then I'll just say it. This was really funny. I got to share with you this little laugh. So the very first time I was on this one station out of the Atlantic City area, and his name was Joe, and he goes, "So Art," and it's the first time I was ever on the radio ever. He goes, "So you got any winning lottery numbers for us?" And so he's putting me on the spot. I'm on the air for the first time. I said, "Yeah, that's easy, 1073, because that was the station number." So anyway, so the next day he emailed me. He goes, "Art, I don't know if you were just kidding or if you really were serious." He goes, "But I played those numbers and you're only off by one number."
Wow.
I think it came out 1074 or 1076 or something like that. But that was pretty wild that I was that close. And I just ran it at the top of my head. So that was pretty funny.
Wow.
Yeah.
Go figure.
Pretty crazy.
Well, Ben, you're the only one.
Oh, no.
All right.
No.
He don't want to know.
Oh, no. No. I just want to know if you're having fun tonight.
No.
My question is, are you having fun tonight with us? That's my question.
Whoa, this is a tough one. Wait, I got to think about this one. No, I will tell you this. Something positive. You are going to help somebody get ahead in life. There is somebody who who has a lot of talent. They don't believe in themselves, but you believe in them so much that you are going to overextend yourself for somebody who has talent, and they're like really good. I feel like musically, I'm pretty sure it's musically, and you're gonna you love listening to the sound of their voice or the way they play their music, and it's like, you know what? You're too good not to be seen. And I see you really making an effort trying to help somebody get someplace. And you will make a difference in someone's life who has extreme talent, and because you believe in them that much.
Makes sense. Okay.
And the time will be right. You'll see.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Of course he's going to call while we're live. He always does. I do see one more question in the chat, Leo.
Where did I miss it?
Yep. Scroll back around 7:59 p.m.
Oh, sorry, I missed that.
That's right.
Wendy says, "My sister is dying. How do I stay connected with her?"
One more time, repeat that.
Wendy says, "My sister is dying. How do I stay connected with her?"
Look at her picture and communicate to her picture, and her soul will 100% hear what you're saying. Say your prayers on her behalf. Letting you know how much you love her, and just communicate as if she's physically right there with you, but look at her picture and keep on sending positive vibrations. That's how you'll stay connected to her. She'll feel it. You will make a difference, whether you will realize it or not. I'm getting chills in my spine because you are going to see a feather appear when you least expect it. And that's going to be her soul connection to you, letting you know that that you are making a difference, that you are connecting with her. And and by the good grace of God or the spiritual world, yeah, you'll get a sign from her through something with a feather. that will appear when you least expect it. Now, I also want to explain to you that hell does not physically exist. Hell is an emotional experience. Heaven exists. There is a place 100% known as heaven. It's a physical place. It's there. It's reality. But hell is an emotional experience. It's not a physical place. So when you're extremely stressed out, when you feel jealous, when you feel nervous, anxious, your nervous is all, you're physically hurting to the extreme. You're dealing with really, really hard emotions on any level. That's what hell is. Hell is an emotional experience. And you're allowed to step out of it anytime you want. But a lot of people, because they feel guilty about whatever they say or do or whatever, that they feel guilty. And so these are worthiness issues. So therefore, they personally keep themselves in that emotional state of an emotional hell. But when people say, oh, when you die, you're going to go to hell. No, there is no hell. If anything, the angels and your spirit guides want to help you improve and learn from your mistakes, So God really is, his love truly is unconditional. There's no, I tell people, I don't fear God. I look at God as if he's my best friend and, he loves everyone unconditionally. So, and I say this from a spiritual standpoint, the most religious thing that you could ever do in your life, just as much as prayer, if not more than prayer, is treating your fellow man with kindness, with love and kindness and compassion. That's the most religious, most beautiful thing that you can do that God appreciates more than anything else.
And respect.
Respect. Yes. Treating them with kindness and respect. Absolutely. So, when you have a big home, God doesn't really care how big your home is. He'll say, how many people did you let into your home? Or you have a beautiful car. He doesn't care about your beautiful car. God will ask you, how many people did you give a ride to? Or how many people, I don't care how much money you have, but how many people did you help? But when you're helping out other people, you're not supposed to put yourself behind the 8 ball. Some people give so much of themselves away that they put themselves and their life behind the 8 ball. And you're not supposed to do that. So you have enough money, say, to take care of your responsibilities. But if you end up giving away more than what you could afford, then you're hurting yourself. And it's a blessing, but it's not a blessing, because you're hurting yourself. That's not what's meant to be. So anything you have above and beyond what you need, then you want to share a part of the interest. We'll call it interest, money above and beyond what you have. Then you want to share that with other people to help out other people. Then, yeah, that's wonderful. But you should not be hurting yourself to help someone else. Everything is a balance in life, So a lot of people, the quality of their life sucks because they give so much of themselves away that they're always miserable because they're worried. They're trying to be Jesus Christ to everybody else, and they end up hurting themselves. So, and that's not the purpose of helping other people. When you're in a position to help out other people, you help out other people, And
right.
So I'll share with you this one moment, and I'm not saying this to put a feather in my cap. I just want to share this beautiful moment that once happened to me angelically. So I was in Madison Square Garden, ready to go home to New Jersey. And I'm standing there with my wife at a pizzeria. We're waiting for the train to come, And so there was a street person who came up to me asking me for some change. And I gave him, I think, $5. That's basically almost like what I had left. I gave him $5. And so another fella came up to me about 30 seconds later. He goes, hey, mister. He goes, did I just see you give that person money? I go, yeah. He goes, why did you do that? And I said, well, it was my way of showing thanks to God for putting me in a good position in life, giving me a good quality of life. And so I'm taking care of one of his children. I said, I'd rather be the person who's in a position who could afford to give away.
Oh, I think we lost your audio, Artie.
Did you get it?
There he is.
Yep.
There I am. I'm sorry.
I know,
So
Leo.
So like I said, I don't know if you heard me. Yeah. So I said to the fella, I'd rather be in the position to give away a free $5 than the person who gets a free $5 who needs it.
Right.
So, he walked away. He goes, that was a pretty good answer. But it was just something that just naturally came. And I'm not bragging. I mean, I live a comfortable life. I'm not overabundance. It's an abundant life as far as emotionally, but as far as financially, I make a living.
Right. And on that story note, I know, Leo, you got another show tonight.
Premises. Yeah.
So, we're gonna wrap this up.
Okay.
So,
yeah, totally.
Do your thing.
Okay, sounds good.
I left you speechless.
So we urge you definitely check out Artie. He does weekly readings over on Facebook, and a bunch of information is shown us down below or up above, depending on where you're watching or listening to him. Or to us. And sorry, I'm still flabbergasted from my reading. He was spot on. But anyway, for me, just Google Leo Pond. You find a bunch of stuff. Could be true, could be not. I'm not going to say which is which. But more importantly, I run a little thing called the Dorkening Podcast Network. Over 30 shows on the network. Head on over to thedorkening.com for more information. And we're going to be doing another show at 9 p.m. So we're going to be talking for that shortly. We're going to be talking about some cool stuff. And with that, Artie, where do you like interacting with your fans? Is Facebook your go-to place?
No, well, it is Facebook, but people, they Facebook, Instagram. I have inspirational. If you go to Artie Hoffman, my Instagram, I have inspirational morning. Every morning I give out inspirational messages. If people want to get a private reading from myself, whether it be over the phone or in person, I'm in New Jersey, or Artie parties or events, they could call me at 732-778-7173, or you could email me, Artie Hoffman at Gmail, ARTIEHOFFMAN at Gmail, or you could check out my website, artiehoffman.com. I have a lot of YouTubes on there, and I explain a lot about life and stuff, and that's also how you can get my book too. I have 2 books, Angels and Answers and Have Your Angels Call My Angels. But it's something that, like I said, it's something that I'm very proud of. And I give people, I help heal people's hearts. And I give people back their power. I make them feel good. And it's really cool. I feel very blessed to be put in this position to give people all this cool information. In my book, I really didn't go to college to learn this or anything. It was a 1-weekend seminar, believe it or not. And in my book, it says I went to the University of Boston in Maryland for 2 years, but that was just to visit my friends.
Excellent.
Awesome. Jeffrey.
Hey, I'm going to make it. I'm at 4% battery life right now.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's ticking down.
So stop screwing around.
Awesome show. Thank you, Artie. That was fantastic. I loved everything.
Cool. It was my pleasure.
And I'm going to let you know if you're, if it comes true what you said. I will let you know, good or bad. I might have to hunt you down.
That's okay.
But
check out my books. I promise you. Check out my books. I promise you, you're gonna love it. And they're easy read books.
I like easy to read.
Good thing.
Step above Dr. Seuss.
Well, hey, we write comic books, so
right.
It doesn't get any simpler than that. Yeah, right. So, but no, thank you very much. It was a fantastic show.
Oh my God.
I have no idea what's for dinner.
No?
No.
I know that is a real shock.
Hey.
No, I have no idea.
I don't know.
It might be meat roll-ups for all I know.
Yeah. So we did have a comment that I want to touch on real quick before we take us out of here. But Artie, a gentleman on YouTube said that he subbed you on YouTube and cheers, much love from Sweden. So, like I said at the beginning of the show, we are broadcasting. We are broadcasting worldwide, and we do have watches worldwide, and we really do appreciate all of you. To all our veterans and first responders, we want to thank you for doing what you do every day, so people like us can come up here and do what we do every day. We'll see you next week. We're out of here. Be safe.
Peace out.
Bye.
Awesome. Thank you.
Come on.